Days of Our Lives Recap. September 26, 2025. Xander and Sarah grew closer during the blackout. Salem, September 26, 2025. The hum of modern life is a fragile thing. In Salem, a town built on secrets, that hum is the only thing keeping the ghosts at bay. Today, a city-wide blackout, triggered by a freak storm over Horton Square, plunged every soul into a profound silence, forcing confrontations, kindling forbidden flames, and proving that in the dark, the truth has nowhere left to hide. And in the flickering candlelight of University Hospital, two damaged hearts, Xander Cook and Sarah Horton, found a connection that may just be strong enough to survive the coming dawn. The episode opened not with the usual theme music, but with the sound of howling wind and the sudden, deafening silence of a power grid giving up the ghost. Lights flickered and died across town, from the Titan boardroom where Constantine was mid-manipulation to the Kyriakis mansion where a panicked Maggie began searching for emergency candles. But the true epicenter of the day's drama was, as always, the hospital. Sarah's solitude shattered. Sarah Horton, still residing in the psychiatric ward as a voluntary patient, was attempting a session of art therapy when the world went dark. The sudden blackout, stripping away the clinical white noise and the glow of monitors, triggered a surge of claustrophobic anxiety. The walls, once a symbol of safety, felt like a prison. Her progress, hard-won over months of struggle, felt terrifyingly fragile in the oppressive silence. It was into this vulnerability that Xander Cook, ever the unlikely guardian angel, stepped. Having been en route to visit her, he navigated the pitch-black hallways with a flashlight app on his phone, his voice a low, steady anchor in the chaos. "Sarah, you all right in here?" he called out, his concern cutting through her rising panic. Their initial interaction was a masterclass in the chemistry that has defined this pairing. Sarah, trying to be brave, insisted she was fine. Xander, with that roguish honesty he reserves only for her, saw right through it. "Right, and I'm the King of England. You're shaking like a leaf," he said, not with pity, but with a gruff practicality that Sarah finds grounding. He'd come prepared, not with grand gestures, but with thoughtful essentials, a bottle of water from the vending machine he'd convinced to open, and a protein bar. "Can't have you fading away on me," he muttered, the simple act of care speaking volumes more than any sonnet could. Confessions by candlelight, as orderlies worked to restore minimal emergency power. A single emergency light cast a dim, orange glow in Sarah's room. Xander managed to procure a few candles from a supply closet, and the scene was set. Two people, isolated from the world, bathed in a light that forgave flaws and highlighted the raw truth in each other's eyes. The conversation began with a blackout, but quickly delved into deeper waters. Sarah, emboldened by the intimate atmosphere, revisited the painful history that has always stood between them. "After everything, after the amnesia, the lies, what I put you through with Rex, why are you still here, Xander?" she asked, her voice barely a whisper. "You should have washed your hands of me years ago." Xander, usually so quick with a deflection or a sarcastic quip, was stripped bare by the question. He stared into the candle flame, the light dancing in his blue eyes. "You want the truth? The whole, unvarnished, bloody truth?" He took a deep breath. "Because when I was at my worst, a right proper villain, as you well know, you saw something else. You saw a man worth saving. No one's ever looked at me like that before, Sarah. Not ever." He confessed that her belief in him, even when he didn't believe in himself, became the foundation of the man he is today. "You were my redemption," he said, the words hanging in the air between them. "And when you were lost, when that monster had you losing, you felt like losing the only good part of me. So, no, I'm not going anywhere. Not ever again." It was a monumental moment for the character, a laying down of arms for a man whose defense mechanisms have always been as strong as his physical prowess. Sarah listened, tears glistening in the candlelight, not of sadness, but of profound understanding. A kiss that lit up the dark. In the wake of his confession, the air crackled with unspoken emotion. The chaos of the outside world, the distant sirens, the muffled voices in the hall, faded into insignificance. Sarah reached out, her hand covering his. "That good man you talked about," she said, a small, genuine smile touching her lips for the first time in weeks. "He's been here all along. He's the one who never gave up on me." She leaned forward, and in the tender, tentative space between them, the past, with all its pain, betrayal, and heartache, was momentarily forgiven, if not forgotten. Their kiss was not one of fiery passion, but of aching tenderness, a slow, deliberate reunion of two souls who have traveled through hell to find their way back to each other. It was a promise, sealed in the quiet dark, that whatever came next, they would face it together. Elsewhere in the darkness, while Xander and Sarah's world shrank to a single room, the blackout exposed other Salemites in equally compelling ways. The Devil's Playground. At the Dimera mansion, the blackout was a gift from a literal hellscape for E.J. Dimera and Nicole Walker. With baby Jude asleep upstairs, the couple attempted a romantic candlelit dinner, but the oppressive atmosphere played on Nicole's deepest fears. Every creak of the old house was a demon's footstep. Every flickering shadow was a specter from her past. E.J., ever the pragmatist, tried to soothe her, but it was clear the psychological scars left by the possession and the baby switch are far from healed. The darkness, for them, is a tangible enemy. A Dimera in distress. At the hospital, Johnny Dimera and Chanel Dupree were trapped in a waiting room. Chanel, worried about her mother, Paulina, whose health remains a central concern, found solace in Johnny's arms. The crisis forced them to set aside their recent professional rivalry, a battle over a film project, and reconnect on a human level. Their scenes were a poignant reminder that beneath the glitz of their Hollywood ambitions lies a deep, abiding love. Constantine's calculated move. At the Kyriakis compound, the blackout provided the perfect cover for Constantine to make his move. With Maggie distracted, he was seen slinking towards Victor's old study, a place rumored to hold secrets that could shatter the family. His objective remains unclear, but his timing was impeccably sinister. A spark in the pub. At the Brady pub, Eric Brady and Sloane Peterson were forced to work together to calm a bar full of unsettled patrons. The pressure cooker environment led to several heated exchanges, but also to a moment of unexpected teamwork that left both looking at the other with a newfound and very complicated respect. The dawn of a new day? As the final moments of the episode ticked away, the emergency generators at the hospital finally rumbled to life, and lights flickered on across Salem. The spell was broken. For Xander and Sarah, the return of electricity meant a return to reality. They pulled apart, the world intruding once more, but the look they exchanged was one of quiet, unwavering certainty. The blackout is over, but its consequences are just beginning. Xander and Sarah have crossed a threshold from which there is no return. Their love, rekindled in the dark, now must survive in the harsh light of day, where past sins and future obstacles await. But for one night in Salem, darkness wasn't something to fear. It was a blanket under which the most fragile of hopes could finally, safely, begin to grow again. Tune in tomorrow to see if the light of day strengthens their bond or threatens to extinguish it forever.